All right, let's see if we are working now. Okay, yeah, I don't know why I did that. It's done that to me before. It doesn't push to the actual streaming service, and I don't know why. Anyway, where were we? Well, I guess we have to completely start over now. Which is fine. Which is fine. Well, let me reset everything. Otherwise, it's not very much fun if we don't start from the beginning. So, what do we got? Um, okay. All right. So, what do we got? We have the death cube. So, this is my modular 1 by 1 by 1 gaming board. Um, and the intent of this is to give me a interesting way and place to do games that is very easy to set up. Now, this thing is literally, I'm just going to push it to the corner of my desk, and then when I want to play games, I will just pull it forward, and that's about it. All right, I think we're working now. Um, so yeah, so each one of these are made with Saucerman Studios gaming tiles that I kind of put together. Now these are intended to be like copies of the game, or better versions, I should say, of the Games Workshop like boarding actions terrain. However, you can actually stack these on top of each other to make a box like this because they have these little pegs on them. You can kind of see one right here, right? So you can use that to hold them together and actually just stack them on top of each other. Um, and it's really cool. So each one of these levels is actually separate. So I can pick them up and actually spin them around and stuff. So I can actually change the layouts of my death cube as well. Because this is the inaugural run. This one corner is being a little annoying, but that's fine. It's just one corner. We'll fix it later. So yeah, so each one of these kind of rotates. So I can actually change how my guys can move through this like rusted hell facility of doom. Um, and the intent here is to just kind of give myself a fun setting to place one-page rules in, because as I'm getting older and probably more broken as a person, I haven't had nearly as much energy to like play games, right? I've had a lot of energy to hobby because it kind of refills me, but playing games, I love doing it, but it kind of takes away, you know. So I wanted to reduce that starting kind of like activation energy to actually get playing. Because, for example, this is the second game I've managed to get on the table this year. Right, so um, definitely taken its toll. So because of that, I kind of wanted to make this nice and simple, and my plan really is to just be able to push this into the corner of my desk and then pull it forward and play on it, right? It does kind of essentially make it like a big ass play set, really, like from like the 90s. Um, and I guess that's kind of where, part of the idea is from, but yeah, pretty neat. The other part of the idea is from a game called Cosmo, something like that. It's from Black Side Studios. They had this idea of like going in and raiding facilities, and I was like, that's kind of cool, right? So I kind of want to make something that's sort of like a Fallout vault and sort of like the Rust Hell from Silent Hill, and it'd be kind of neat. So, but with that being said, now that we are actually streaming, we can actually start our game. I was I don't know, like 20 minutes into it, I guess. So yeah, so we're gonna start over. But these are my two heroes for today. They're my Skaven Cawdor kit bashes that I made for Necromunda, but I thought they would fit this game very well, just as well. I painted them a long time ago. I might actually go back and do some detailed touch-ups on them because I think I could actually do a better job nowadays. Um, but yeah, so this is our boy Skitter, and this is Squeaks. This guy has a electro spear, which just sounds awesome, and a flame pistol. This guy has a master pistol, which I guess is this assault rifle SMG thing, and he's got a melee weapon, which is that saw blade on a pipe, essentially. So it's kind of fun. But we can go look at their stats really quick. Bonk. We got this kind of all set up. Here, I need to reset that. Um, so standard StarQuest stuff that I've done tons of times on the channel. This app is amazing. These are two guys. They're both Ratman clans, aspiring clan handlers. And we're going to be fighting against our automatons, our virus robos, which is actually a custom army book that I made on the website. And they're the automatons like these guys. Da-na-na-na. Yeah, so these the guys that basically beat the living shit out of my troopers last time. So this is going to be our first spawn for the sentries. It's going to be 3 guys. And our primary objective here is to get 2 pieces of loot and get it off the table. Actually, you know what? Let's make that 3 pieces of loot. And our secondary objective is going to be to get 6 pieces of loot and get it off the table. And we're going to be playing on difficulty 1. And yeah, that's pretty much it. With that we are ready to rock. Yeah, so let's figure out where our guys are gonna go first. One of my lights just died. Oh fuck, that's really hot. So let's figure out where our guys are going to go first, right? Where our enemies are going to go. So we've got this 1 unit of enemies here. There are 3 levels in the death cube, so we're going to roll ourselves a d6, and 1 to 2 is top level, 3 to 4 is mid level, 5 to 6 is bottom level. We got a 6. Holy shit, they're going to go all the way down. Wow, okay. So I'm going to place them on one of the treasure tokens. Because throughout our facility here, we have a whole bunch of treasure tokens for our guys to loot. And what we're going to do is we're going to raise alertness by 2 if there's a non-alerted enemy. Otherwise, we could loot the shit out of this before these guys get to us. So we're going to start raising alertness by 2 to kind of make it a little bit harder there. We're going to treat that as there being no enemies on the table with having unalerted enemies. So, all right, with that, let's rock and roll. So, yeah, might as well start our guys right here. So, let's go ahead and let's take our boy Squeaks here, and we're going to move him over to this treasure token. Treasure tokens are automatically lootable if you are within 1 inch of them. Otherwise, you have to make a will test to loot them. But they're automatically lootable if you are near them, and pick upable, which is very nice. So it's going to give us this table right here. We're going to roll one. We rolled a 2. Of course we did. And we rolled a 3. We are impaired. Story of my life. Let's see. D3 power to remove status. Get -1 to all stat rolls. Damn. Okay. I guess our I got like tangled up in his loot thing here. Uh, well, poopy, that sucks. All right. And then we'll go ahead and we'll activate our other guy here. So he's going to move over. There is another loot token right here. So we're going to see if he can get there with an advance. Which he can. Thank you, Bendy Ruler from Necromunda. And he's going to go digging through that cack. He got a 5. What is a 5? A 5 is a kit. And he got another 5. So it's going to be a teleport kit. Now that sounds fancy AF, don't it? We can come here in the website and just add it directly to him. What does that actually do? Anywhere within 6 inches. That's pretty cool. Maybe he'll be using that to get out of the facility. Because in normal Star Quest, you have to be within 6 inches of the edge of a board to escape. Yeah, guess what? This entire board is 6 inches. So to escape, they pretty much have to make it back up to the top level and to one of the two like muddy ends. So essentially where they started is the intent. Now our guys, which are all the way down here, there they are. They're going to start moving towards the noise, right? So they're going to go ahead and they're going to get themselves a nice advance, right? Up and around these steps here. And they're going to get pretty much just to the very top right here. Really, they'd probably be back here, to be honest. So they're hanging out on them steps. Because they're going to start moving towards the noise. All right. And we will go ahead and since our guys are not really alerted in any way, we'll go ahead and jump up alertness by 2. As they can't really see the enemies yet. All right. And yeah, and with that, we will move into turn 2. All right. Well, we need to climb down there. I actually don't know how climbing works in Grimdark Future. Or drop off 3 inches of elevation as regular movement. May miss jump or cross collapse. Okay, so he can actually drop down halfway. Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. We're going to drop down halfway, and we're going to put him, like, on that. So he's going to be, like, he's going to be balancing himself right there. All right? And then we'll go ahead and he can say he can see those dudes in there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a shot at them. And that's going to be 2 hits or 2 shots on 4s. All right, go 1 hit, 1 miss. Does the enemy save it? On 5s, they save it though, so they are perfectly fine. Now, I don't super want my guy balancing on this ledge because if he gets hit, he's going to fall down and that's going to be bad. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to skitter, which means he's going to be able to move 3 inches. Or he's going to be able to move D3 inches. Now, I don't know how this works with jumping and falling, so it might be a situation where he's just going to fall, but we'll see how it goes. So he's going to try to scurry. He got a 4. What is his Dexterity. His dexterity is a 5, so he failed it, so he can't do it either way. All right. And with that, uh, with that, we get to. Do we do alternating activations, or do I do all my guys and then the enemies? I am really blanking on that. Let me see. Activate all heroes first, and then LA activates in order. Okay. All right. That's what I thought it was. Okay. All right. So that means we have to go over to our boy Skitter up here. There he is. And there's actually a loot box. It's going to be kind of hard for the camera to see, so I'm going to move this. There's actually a loot box right there by that sign. So we're going to move him out there. We're going to have him check that one. Because the intent is to loot. The intent is not necessarily to kill, although killing is useful. So, all right, we're going to roll for it. We got a 4, which is going to be, let's see. This guy's just picking up all the goddamn loot. All right, he's got a grenade bag. And it's going to be another 4, so he's going to have a grease grenade. So we go to add items, and we add our grease grenade. There we go. And this guy's picking up all the loot. Okay. Now we get our enemies. So I imagine if they're in the steps, they're probably going to get some kind of cover, it feels like to me. So we're actually going to move them in, right? And then we're going to have them basically get as close as they can and then shoot at our guy here. We will say, you know, I'm going to say he's still going. God, it's so fucking point blank, though. Part of me wants to say he still has cover because he's up above them. Yeah, let's say there's cover there. That feels right to me. But we're going to get 3 shots. Or do they have 2 shots? I forget. Yeah. 1 attack, ep1 on this. Okay, so that's the ep1's going to negate out with the cover. So 3 shots, hitting on 5s, 1 hit. Does Mr. Squeak save it on a 5? He does not, as I rolled a 1. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to take 1 point of damage. And because he's balanced on an edge, he's going to fall. So he's going to take a hit. That's going to be at AP1. I actually don't need to roll for doing it. He just takes the hit. He doesn't need to see if he gets hit by the floor. That doesn't make any sense. So he's going to take a hit AP1. He rolled a 5 because of AP1. That's going to be a 4. So he is going to take a hit and actually lose another wound, which is unfortunate for him. That is very unfortunate for him. Okay. It's kind of funny. I had one guy kind of fall down that hole last game, the game that I tried and it didn't stream. It's the same kind of thing. All right. What are we doing now? Well, that is going to be the end of that turn. So end of turn 2, we're going to bump our alertness up to 1. So our alertness is now 3. At 6, we get another spawn of enemies. And yeah, and it's going to be our turn activating. There is an item right there. We could melee charge in. What's your melee weapon look like, friend? Attacks 2. Actually, you know what? I think he's not going to be able to kill them, but he might be able to kill enough of them that he'll be able to loot the box this turn. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to charge in and we're going to see. We're going to see if we can wipe two of those bastards out and then move in with our guy. So 2 attacks hitting on 4s. Both hit. Do they get saved? One gets saved, one goes through. Blech. All right, and then they get to hit back. If they get more hits, they're going to knock me back. Otherwise, I'm going to knock them back. So 2. Actually, these guys have CCW 2s. So 4 attacks hitting on 5s. We've got 1 hit. Skitter save it on a 5. He does not. All right, so we're at a tie. So I'm going to choose to knock them back. And then I'm going to use his discover stuff on this box. And we're going to see what's in the box. What's in the box? It's a 6. Ooh, fancy. It's a credit stash. It's another 6. It's 6 to... Oh, it's 15 credits. Nice. That's a good one. So let me go ahead and increase his credits. There we go. Okay, 15 credits. That's awesome. So that means we've gotten 3 pieces of loot, which is pretty good. And then we're going to move back up to our boy up here. There he is, right there. And we are going to advance him. And he's going to get here, and then he's going to get halfway down the steps. So he's going to be hanging out on the hanging out steps. In retrospect, how I should have done these steps, in case anyone wants to build their own death cube. These things on the side, I should have made these full pieces instead of these half pieces, and then I could just click the steps in. That's how I should have done it, and that would have worked really well. But yeah, that's not how I did it. So yeah, so the steps, they probably need some love. I probably need a better way to do them. Because it's kind of weird they hang out so much. But we'll figure it out. The Death Cube is an evolving project. And I'm extremely happy with how it's come so far. My only really big complaint about it right now is that it's so glossy. But I actually got specific super matte top coat for that yesterday to try out. So alrighty. Well, our 2 guys here, they're going to charge in. Wah, wah. And that's going to be 4 attacks going into our boy Squeaks. 1 hit. They don't have AP on their attacks. For melee, they only have it for ranged. The Squeak saved the hit on a 5. He rolled a 3. No, he doesn't. He's getting eaten alive by this one group of little guys, and that's really pathetic. He's going to hit back 2 attacks. These are going to be having to hit on 6s because he is tired. He did not hit on any of those, so he's actually going to get knocked back. They're like, get away from our shit, essentially. All right. Yeah, I guess that's the end of that turn too. Damn, okay. Going quick. All right, we're up to alertness 4. Yeah, because he charged in, killed the guy, got hit, bouncing back, looted, this guy activated, they activated. Yep, okay. All right, next turn, let's roll. All right. You know what, Mr. Squeaks, you're not doing the best, my friend. So what you're going to do Behold the coolness of bendy ruler. My friend, you're going to go and you're going to just look for some more loot. And we're going to let Skitter fuck these guys up. That's what we're going to do. Because you are getting your ass beat by 3 of the most basic enemies on this map. There's some nasty stuff that can spawn in here, right? Like, do you want this horrible monster to beat the shit out of you with a pipe? Or how about this chainsaw man tyrannid, right? Or this guy, right? Giant chainsaw man, right? There's some horrible things that can spawn in this army list, and these are the most basic guys. They don't even have a heavy weapon in this team. Literally the most basic possible. All right, but with that, Skitter's going to come down his 6 inches, and he's going to open fire on them with his flame pistol, which I guess is this weird machine gun thing he's got here. So that's going to be 1 shot, but it has precision on it. So he's going to be hitting on 3s, and it has blast. So it's just like that. So he's hitting on 3s. I rolled a 5. All right, he hits. It's got blast 3. So it's going to be 3 attacks going out in total. So we're going to do 2 on this guy, 1 on that guy. So let's see if the first guy dodges them. Dodges 1, takes 1. Second guy dodges them. He does. Wow, okay. Alright, I see how it goes. Fine. Be that way, game. The toughest, like, little infantrymen that ever existed. Well, now it's their turn. And they're going to charge in. Because they get more attacks charging in. And they're kind of like robot zombies, you know, so I kind of feel like they should be charging, you know. So 2 attacks going in. Alright, neither of those hit because he rolled a 3. Skitter's going to hit back with his Electro Lance. This is 1 attack hitting on 4s. Rolled a 2, so nothing. He gets knocked back. Wow, we're really rocking and rolling through these turns. Alright, let's see. Alertness 5. Well, you know what? I think Squeaks is going to try to get a little bit more of this loot. And then maybe we don't press our luck. Maybe we do. I don't know. You know what? Screw it. Let's press our luck a little bit. So he's going to drop down. This is a 3-inch drop, so he doesn't have to do anything fancy. And then, you know what? He's going to use the rest of his advance. So instead of looting this box right here, he's actually going to go down to this box with his advance. And he's going to loot that one instead. Rolling on it. Got a 5. What was 5? Oh, 5 is kits. And he got a 3. So it's going to be a curing kit. Okay. Kick ass. All right. There's a good bit of loot. We're not going to press our luck too much. Maybe we will. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Back to our never-ending battle against the one group of infantrymen. Are you done? Are we done flashing? Ah. Can we be done flashing, please? Thank you. All right. You know, we're going to try that flame pistol again. 1 shot hitting on 3s. Roll a 6. That's 3 shots into this guy. Does he dodge them? Dodges 2, takes 1. Holy shit, these are the toughest like zombie guys ever. All right. So he is out of there. And then you know what? We're going to try a dex test on a 6. Nope, because we're going to try to scurry. But no scurrying for us. No scurrying for us. So I had set this camera up. Like one of the reasons I did this is because I have this cool fixed focus camera, but the light's kind of totally messed up and I'm not super sure how to fix it today. So that's why I've been using my other camera more instead. The other camera is just taking in too much light and it's like really white balancing itself out. So I need to figure that out. But all right, so that's our boy there done. Um, yeah, that's going to be the end of that turn. Nice and easy. So we're actually going to go up to 6 and we are going to generate ourselves a wave. Um, okay, and then we've got 3 more machine thralls. Let's see where they're spawning. 1, 2, 3. They rolled a 5, which means they're going to spawn down here in the bottom. Let's see. There's a. You know what? We'll actually spawn them. We'll spawn them right there. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right. You know what? We might as well keep trying to loot. It's only a group of machine thralls. He still has 5 life left. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna press our luck. We're gonna keep looting. So I'm gonna have him do a standard move over here. And we're gonna have him loot that box too. Alright, so let's roll. Let's see what we get. I'm getting all the loot. We got a 1, which means we're getting something bad. Roll again. We got a 3. We are impaired again. Alright, we are double impaired. We now have super autism, apparently. I don't think our guy can actually be double impaired, so I think he's still just caught up in the wire or whatever from last time. Which it occurred to me he was probably supposed to take negatives on a lot of his attacks and stuff. So, because he's probably about to get attacked pretty bad, we're going to go ahead and roll and try to get rid of that impairment. So, let's do that. So we're going to spend D3 power to remove this. All right, I got a 4, which means it's 2. So we're going to go down to power, and we're going to get rid of the impaired. There we go. Because he's probably about to get attacked, so. All right, back to our boy Skitter here. There he is right there. We're going to try to get him over to the other loot token that's like on the whole other side of this map. So we are going to have him go this way. And he's going to wind up somewhere around right there. And that's where he's going to end his turn. Because we've got a loot token right there. And I think with that one, we'll start trying to make our way out, I think, after that one. All right, so down on the bottom, we've got our guys here. They're going to advance towards the noise they just heard. So because they can't see him to know what this is, they're not going to charge, but they're going to advance and basically get within an inch, or just outside of an inch. It doesn't make sense to me that they would charge without knowing, right? So yeah, Squeaks is all the way down at the bottom, about to get his ass ate by these zombie guys. Not having a great time. Yeah. So with that, we go over advance our alertness 1, and our guys need to start getting out of here, or damn soon they do. So, I think I'm just going to have him run, to be honest. I'm going to have him run up to this other chest over here. Yeah, and we'll have him loot this one on his way out. This chest right here. And we'll go ahead and loot it. We got a 2, which means something bad is in it. We got another 2, which means we're now diseased. Okay, so if he spends any more power, he's going to start taking damage. Okay, well, with that, we will take our buddy here, our buddy Skitter here, and we will have him advance to this one, and we're going to loot this last one here, and then we're going to start making our way out of here. He got a 2 as well, so he's also got something bad going on. Survey says 5-6, which is a none. All right, hell yeah. Okay, so then we are down to our zombie robos once more. And they're just going to keep moving towards the noise. They do know that our boy is here now. So let's see if they can reach him with a charge. Yeah, definitely can. All right, so they're all going to charge in and try to murderize him because they've got plenty of range here. All right, so that's going to be 6 attacks going in. Hitting on 5s. All right, don't get a single hit. Damn, okay. My guy's going to hit back. He's got attack 2 CCW. Both hit. Do they get saved? Neither get saved. Wow, okay. He's making up for his badness earlier, and then this guy's going to get pushed back. So he goes into the stairwell. Okay. Damn. All right. Well, end of that turn too. Bonk. So we're going to move and shoot at this last guy to try to knock him out, because otherwise he's just going to be chain charging us, and it's going to be obnoxious. So we're going to climb our way up here. Boop, 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 boop. And then we're going to shoot down through that hole. 2 shots. Hitting on 4s, neither which hit. And then, you know what, we'll try a scurry. I rolled a 1 so we don't get a scurry. Alright, that means it is Skitter's turn. There are many ways around the death cube. I think we will try to take the steps out. Versus climbing out. So we can try to climb out from here. But we have to go further around. So I think we'll try to take the steps out. But before we do that, let's try to kill this last guy. And what we're going to do, we're going to advance up to the edge and we're going to shoot down at him. So shooting down at that guy down there, 3 hits, or 1 hit, hitting on 3s, rolled a 4, that becomes 3 hits to him. He saves 1 of them, takes 2, so he is also gone. All right, and with no enemies on the board, that means our alertness is going to go up 2. So we're going to be at 4. All right, so now they need to get the hell out of there. So it's just super advanced, run for your life kind of time, I think. And they're both going to go over here onto this set of steps. All right, and that's going to be alertness 6. All right, and we have generated another wave. It just keeps giving me poor machine thralls. Damn it, give me bigger things. All right, let's figure out where the machine thralls are going to go. They're going to go on floor 2. As a matter of fact, I'm going to spawn them right here. Let's find 3 new ones, because that's been fun. Bonk, bonk, bonk. There we go. All right, and then, yeah, we are commencing operation Get Out of the Death Cube. So, this is squeaks and wounds. I could have them both move half distance and shoot. I think that's what I'm going to do. So I think I'm going to have them both move up to the set of steps here. Well, first we're going to do it with Skitter. First, it's going to be Skitter. And he's going to shoot at them with his flamethrower pistol. 1 shot, hitting on 3s. Rolls a 6. Hell yeah. That's going to be 3 hits into that group. 1 of them saves it. 2 of them are gone. Wow, okay. He is. See, this is what I much more expected out of, like, fighting the normal little zombies. With that, though, you know what? I'm just going to have Squeaks get out of there. And he's just going to run his full advance and get up to the top. That's what he's going to do. And then our zombie boy. Our zombie boy is going to go ahead and charge Mr. Squeaks. There they are. They're friends tussling on the steps there. So it's going to be 2 attacks. Hitting on 5, so 1 of them hits. Squeaks does not save it. How do I want to treat these steps with melee combat? I'm gonna be honest, I think the steps should probably count as a fall. Like you fall to the bottom of the steps. I think that probably makes the most sense. So first off, Squeak is going to fight back. So 1 hit, hitting on 4s, does not get it. And then he's actually going to fall to the bottom of the steps. So I think if you get meleeed on the steps, that's what's going to happen. And then he's going to take 1 hit that he saves. It's going to be AP -1 because it's 3 inches fall. He does not save it, so he's going to take a hit. That's his first hit of the game. The battle on the rickety set of steps. Okay, so what is the best play here? Do we go down and kill that guy with Squeaks, or do we just haul ass out? Kinda thinking I just haul ass out with him. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to, up here at the top, we're going to just move him pretty much to the exit. Damn near to the exit. And then we're going to come back to Skitter, who is, you know, he's better at shooting actually than melee. So we're going to shoot 1 shot hitting on 3s into the guy on the steps. He rolls a 2. Okay. That could have been better. Well, he's going to get charged now. This guy's going to charge down the stairs after he just knocked him down. So 2 attacks going into Skitter, who's getting left behind apparently. Wow, double 6s, so they both hit. Does Skitter save them? He does not. Oof. And then he's going to hit back one attack. And he rolled a 2, so he's definitely not hitting back. Oh, he really is getting left behind by this one fighting this one zombie. All right. Um, up the alertness, and then yeah, we are approaching the end there. Squeaks is gonna get over to the exit. Good for him. He abandoned his friend. That's a true Skaven would. And Skitter's got to fight his way out. So one shot, hitting on 3s. Rolls a 5, so 3 hits. Does the zombie save him? Saves 1, takes 2. Okay. And then we'll see. Yeah, fuck it. Let's see if he can scurry. Oh, he can. Okay. All right, he gets a couple inches of scurry. There it goes. All right. So that's the end of that round. So we're actually going to do alertness 4. And then, yeah, next round. Skitter's going to go ahead and get himself up to the top of the steps. Squeaks is just chilling in the evac. That's going to be the end of that round. Nice and easy. We're going to hit alertness 6. We're going to generate another wave. Let's figure out where they go. Top, middle, bottom. They go in the middle. We're going to spawn them in the same place. They are probably not going to matter at all because Skitter should be able to get himself out of this. So, yeah. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Yep. So he's going to get right here. And they could technically chase, but they'll never make it before they escape. So that is going to be our first little delve into the death cube. And our first campaign finished for our buddies Squeaks and Skitter here. So let's go look at their stats and we will round up the end of the campaign stuff. And then I'll talk about Death Cube and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so this was just kind of a one-off. Normally what I think I would do is I'd probably actually do these in multiples. Like maybe one mission is to go down and then the next mission actually you go up. Something like that I think would be really cool. But it means that all of our negative statuses are going to go away. And yeah, we walked out with 3 pieces of loot, 4 pieces of loot because of the gold. So we did not get to 6 pieces of loot just because we had some bad luck. But that means we're going to complete our primary objective. So let's see. We earned double as much XP as the chosen difficulty level. So we were playing on difficulty 1, so we're going to get 2 XP each. And then we're going to get 5 gold each for our guys as well. So we can go ahead and we can jump that up to that. We can jump that up to that. And then they're going to get let's see, where did we do the mission XP? Maybe we don't add these here. Maybe let's try not adding those there. All right, so then I think we go to complete mission. All right, mission was successful. All right, credit. Okay, here it is. 1, 2, credits gained. We gained another 5 credits. Okay. Oh, look at that, little sparkles and shit. That's cool. All right, so we can gain 1 toughness or we can gain 1 skill. Let's go ahead and gain a skill, I think. Let's see. What is battle rest? Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, he can remove status conditions. That's pretty sweet, actually, but his dexterity sucks. Um, his willpower is pretty good, though. His willpower is 4 plus, so I think we're actually going to go with Resurrect. I think that's kind of cool. All right, let's see. And then Skitter got 2, and he got 5 credits. Yay! All right, so let's see what skills look like for him. All right, these are all kind of the core ones. What is this stuff down here? Till the end of the round, the next time an enemy attacks this hero gets -1. Yeah, his main thing is strength, really. Oh, that's cool. You can just push a guy 6 inches away. Let's do that. That's pretty cool. Okay, there we go. And then level 2. That is our guys. All right, so first game with the death cube. So what worked? What did it? Um, First off, I think moving up and down the facility is really cool. I think the overall flow of it's really, really neat. Um, some of the deeper, like kind of center areas, like here, are harder to get to, right? Um, I don't, I don't know if there is a good way to use that space, right? Like I feel like I did pretty decent with it. Um, for the limited amount of space. I do think if I get some lights in it, it would be kind of cool. Or I could do I could do this, where I pop the lid off the levels they're not on if they're all on the same level. So that's also a possibility. Um, I think either of those would work pretty good. I think if I want to keep the lids on, what I might actually do is add 1 or 2 additional spacers under each floor to lift them up a tiny bit. Um, I think that would be kind of cool and add some more, little bit more height, which I think will be good, especially from the like sitting and looking into it kind of play, right? Like the bottom floor is very hard actually for me to see, right? It's actually probably easier for the camera to see the bottom floor than it is for me because it is lower. Now, something I could actually do is I could actually just put this on like a book and lift it up like this. That's something I could do as well. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the best play there is, but I do think adding a little bit of floor or a little bit of spacer to each one of these floors is pretty good. The steps on the side are cool. They work pretty well. The corner that this one was on was a little weak, so it kept wiggling. But I think if I put it in another corner, it'll be fine. Um, yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it works really well. And for like something that's super easy to set up, I think that I really couldn't have done better, I don't think. Um, because the I had done 6x6 tiles for my Necromunda train before and played a whole campaign on that. And it worked well, but there were parts where it was just really, really hard to film. And since I primarily play games on YouTube nowadays, that's kind of what I am choosing to focus on, right? So if something's hard to film, it kind of sucks, right? So yeah. So Um, I think this works much better for filming, and I think it's really interesting, kind of getting people to move through it and stuff. especially when I can switch the floors around and change how they connect and stuff. I think that's really interesting. Um, I also something that playing a lot of skirmish games has kind of showed me. Playing Dead Zone specifically has really shown me this. Um, you don't actually move that much in skirmish games, and it's something, or in any games really. It's something that kind of, I don't know, it takes the adventure out of the adventure for me. Um, so I liked the idea of getting the characters to be able to move around, uh, like a lot of different places and interact with the terrain without having to spend like a crazy amount of turns moving, right? Like one advance here, like a regular move here gets you down a floor, right? An advance can get you down an entire set of steps so you don't have to drop, right? Or it can get you entirely across one of these tiles. An advance can, right? So with just a tiny bit of turnage, um, you can move around this board really, really easy. And I think that's definitely good and something that I'm quite happy with. Um, yeah, because Dead Zone really showed me that movement is really kind of limited in games, right? Where most of the models move two, um, and the board is 8 tiles long, which means you pretty much move to one position and then just shoot, and that's kind of the game. And that isn't a commentary on Dead Zone. I love Dead Zone, but it's a commentary on the fact that just lots of times you don't move as much as you think you would, right? You don't really get to interact with the terrain and stuff as much. It's not as fun. So, but yeah, so that's my first game of StarQuest on the deathcube. There will be more. Hopefully, going to play again next weekend. I think, um, I think I'm going to try to do something with the channel where all of my painting videos and stuff are actual videos that go out, and the streams are this kind of like me playing with my toys kind of let's play thing. I think that's what I'm going to try to do with the channel, and we'll see how that goes. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for watching. I will say this was an entire inaugural game, in about an hour, which is pretty awesome. It went many a turn, and yeah, our guys got a whole bunch of loot out. They got 4 pieces of loot out, which is pretty cool. Both got a level too, which is very sweet. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have a good